realism, where we test the boundaries of imagination and are forced to think outside the confines and restrictions of what is normal. We are the creators, the writers, the artists, and the insane. Welcome to our weird realities.
I love that opening.
I know, that's great.
That's cool.
Well, happy Sunday. Here we are with the Martones. I'm super excited about this. And it's Restucci, and I'm Hadley Thorne. And welcome to our weird reality, guys.
That's awesome. Thanks for having us. We're excited.
We are also excited to have you on our weird realities stuff. It's great. And for anybody who doesn't know the Martones, DL Martone, it's Daniel and Laura. They're screenplay writers of all kinds of fiction, and they're recently, or maybe not recently, getting into some tarot stuff that they want us to talk about. So we're going to get into that, and we will jump right in if that's okay with you guys.
That's
Let's
fine.
go.
I wrote up a series of little questions, and
Okay.
I'm going to fire them off at you.
All
So
right.
normally I don't ask about a writer's writing process, but your husband and wife dynamic of writing together, it's a bit unique. So how do you guys do it? Is it like a tag team, or do you sit together and just bust out words? How does that work?
It's definitely more tag team. I'll let him describe
Yeah,
it.
I would say the very beginning of our process is we start off with an idea, like if we're coming up with a new series, we spitball characters and things like that. And then I will usually go write an outline. We'll go through that together, and then I'll write a first draft, which it's a pretty lean first draft. It's somewhere between a screenplay and a first draft.
We call it a skeleton draft.
Skeleton draft. And then Laura will take that and, anywhere from double to triple the length of that. And then she'll send it back to me.
By fleshing it out, yeah.
Right,
so, I mean,
right.
I'm taking his story for the most part. If there's anything that I have issues with, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So we always talk about it. And usually we're very good at compromising.
Yeah.
I tend to be a little more literary. He tends to be more, I love genre, but he tends to have more sensibilities towards that way. So he can help to temper me and vice versa. And then, I flesh out the description and the characters and all of that. And then he, takes it back.
Right. And
does his thing.
Normally, depending on what it is, like the Zombie Chaos series that we write follows Joe, who's our main character, and he's a middle-aged, out-of-shape guy.
I know all about that.
Just saying.
Caught in the middle of the...
Like an autobiography.
Yeah, the zombie apocalypse. It really is our story.
With zombies,
But sometimes I'll have to, I call it de-girlify.
Yeah, he de-girlifies it simply because I am always trying to make him a better man. And he realizes that that Joe wouldn't do whatever it is I'm trying to make him do. So sorry, sweetie.
Joe is like, no, I wouldn't do that.
So do you guys ever fight about it? Do you throw hands on this? He's like, I need to have this done. And she's like, no, we got to do it this way. That's great.
You're pretty easygoing. I mean, we really do try to give each other, if there's something I really, want in there, we'll try to make it work. But I mean, especially when it comes to the fact that in this particular series, Zombie Chaos, I'm writing from a man's point of view. I am fully aware that there are going to be things I do that Joe would not do. Right. Dan would not do. So, I think it works really well. I think that we have a ton of common interests, but the differences we do have are very compatible. So I feel like it really works the way we do it. And then I'm the one that once he's de-girlified it, then I take it back, and I'm usually like, he'll format it, and then I will proof it the last way through because I'm the word nerd. So I'm the one that really checks. And then we just we're pretty DIYers. Like we do everything ourselves. So we don't, I shouldn't say it maybe, but we don't hire editors. Like I'm usually the last eyes.
Well, people hire Laura to edit.
Well, that's true. Yes, that's true. But so that's it. And it works well. I feel like the give and take.
Great. That's awesome. Wow. Yeah. So you got a Kickstarter going. Why don't you tell us about that?
We do.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay.
Tell everybody what a Kickstarter is, because I don't think everybody knows what it is.
Right. So Kickstarter.com has been around a while, but publishing has sort of taken off a little bit in the last couple of years. Brandon Sanderson's big, $42 million crowdfunding. Yes, it's crowdfunding. Right. So Kickstarter.com was initially, it's for like prototypes of inventions and films and things like that. You're trying to get a crowd to help. And I mean, there are lots of famous event, like I think Veronica Mars, right, was on Kickstarter.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things that you get the fans to then help. So it's awesome because it's just a direct connection with fans. And I love it. This is only our second Kickstarter, but we are sold. Like, we will do it for all of our launches now, because I really especially love connecting with readers directly. And that's something that you can't really do with the normal retailers like Amazon. You know, they don't want you to know, they don't want you to be able to contact the readers. They're the buffer. So Kickstarter is just great. And they are very easy to work with. The way that you design your campaign is it's pretty easy. I mean, once you get used to it, and you can ask questions of them. So it's really great. Kickstarter is awesome. And our first one we did last year was for, we produced a couple of walking audio tours of the French Quarter, a ghost one and a vampire one. Really? That's when we started our very first, and we did really well with it. I mean, better than we thought we would. It was more like a test. And we're very passionate about New Orleans. I'm from there. He is an adopted New Orleanian. Gotcha. So this was something that we really loved. And I think the passion came through, and that's what people connected with. But this one is specifically for our Zombie Chaos series. And actually, even more specifically, our fan favorite, Azazel, the zombie slayer, who's a cat, who has her own little adventures where she takes out zombies in cat-like ways. Yeah. And so this one is basically for an illustrated storybook collection of her stories. Oh. And also our tarot deck, which is Zombie Cats of New Orleans. And so that kind of brings together a lot of things we love. Zombies, cats, New Orleans, and tarot. Can't
go wrong.
Nope. It's awesome.
Wow. That's pretty fantastic. I didn't know that it was going to be an illustrated book. That's
oh yeah, definitely.
I was already going to pick up your stuff, but now, I mean, I'm totally sold.
Well, we actually have another offering in the Kickstarter that's a zombie flesh bound.
Oh yeah, right. One of the options is to have zombie flesh, and I love it. I think it's pretty cool.
They're each handcrafted. We were having a lot of fun with that.
Yes. So it's just, Kickstarter is just I think it's a really great place for writers too, because you can do creative things like that are much harder to sell through ordinary means,
I mean, and it really, people have been using it and publishing for a few years now, yeah. But last year in March and April, Brandon Sanderson ran his campaign, and I think it was
$42 million.
$42 million. He broke the Kickstarter record for books. And it was just 4 books. So, I mean, he really destroyed the publishing industry with that.
None of us are expecting to make that kind of money off of it, but I think it showed that there were readers there, that there were people that were looking for special stuff. So
that's fantastic. Wow.
That's incredible.
I know.
Well, I'm super excited about your stuff because you hit on all the stuff I like. I love animals. I can't wait to read your books. I haven't read them yet, but they are on my list to read because, I mean, Azazel. First off, is that from Fallen?
Yes. I can't believe you said that. Most people, okay, wait, where am I? It's my supernatural tat. They automatically think that Ruby Azazel, which is our cat's name, is there are 2 demons in that show. That's just a coincidence. Azazel was actually because of Fallen. Because we love the cat at the end of that movie looks just like our cat. So yeah, that's I can't believe you said that. That's awesome. That is so we love you.
We just did that movie on Watching Wyrd, maybe.
I love
it was my pick. It was mine. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
I do love that. I love that cat too.
Denzel's awesome.
Yeah, it's such a great story.
Yeah.
So how did you guys get into writing screenplays? And let's hear about a couple of your favorites.
Well, I mean, we both went to film school. She went to Northwestern for film and
English,
and then I went to Columbia College in Chicago for film. And at one point, we've had a crazy ride. We started off in Chicago. We bought an RV. We drove out around the country, ended up out in LA. And we just got into the film industry out there. We met a lot of people.
Just the indie side.
Yeah, it was all indie.
We don't have, we're definitely grassroots,
But at one point we were running an independent filmmaker group, like a very large 1,000-member group.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that got carried away. Too many people. And then we also did film festivals for years. But while we were out there, our intention was to do films, or write screenplays, and films had gotten so expensive and so hard to get distribution for that we kind of went the screenplay route for a little bit. We did sell one screenplay. Filmmaker screwed it up though. Bad. He screwed it up bad. It was.
I mean, I'm really excited that it was made, but yeah, it didn't resemble the thing we sold.
It was a screenplay. It was, I think it was the original was called Golem, and it was about this group of 20-somethings that find a bag of money out in the desert, and
calamity ensues.
Yeah, calamity ensues. A golem. You know, if you know your history, it was like a flesh creature that came out for revenge to kill them. It was a very bloody, lots of sex. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And then this guy turned around and turned it into a Christian film.
It was a Christian horror film. So a lot of that stuff. And there was a dog suddenly. And I don't know what was up with that. Some investor of his wanted a dog. There was suddenly a dog that had not been there before.
I got nothing against Christian filmmaking
or dogs.
Just don't do it to my script.
Yeah, but that was a good lesson, because the thing is, we're very autonomous DIY people. So I think that being out there, and also, he's from the Midwest, I'm from the South. LA is not really our bag. I mean, like, it's a beautiful place, but the vibe of it is not really us. And so
it was soul sucking.
So Katrina happened, and we ended up moving to New Orleans. And so that ended the LA stint. But in the end, it was good, because we wanted to tell stories together, but we wanted to do it on our own terms. And that's what we do now as fiction writers, because, and as novelists, the sky's the limit as far as your budget goes, right? I mean, you can do whatever you want on paper that you cannot necessarily do in film. So it gave us a lot of freedom, creative freedom. And so we're much happier doing what we're doing now than I think we were then. But it was definitely an experience, a learning experience.
So when you sold the script, how exactly did that work? Did he just give you a bunch of money and then it's just his, he can do whatever he wants? Because clearly he didn't see your vision. Is that how it was?
Yeah, no, he bought the rights to it.
But if I remember right, he only gave us half. He never actually paid us the rest of it. Because there was some. That's more
LA stuff.
Yeah, there was some I don't know. There was creative accounting on his part.
I'd say we took our payment from that and we bought a minivan.
Yeah, that's right. We did. We bought a car.
Well, that's good.
Sold a script, buy a minivan.
That's good though.
Yeah. So, like I said, it was an experience for sure. Yeah. And we've written a few others that, we would want to do someday. We also shot a really low budget film of our own out there, but it's best if that just stays buried.
I do have a vampire before I met Laura, a vampire film that I had someone, I have not seen this film Midnight Sun in, decades now. And someone contacted me on Facebook and asked me if I was the director of this film, and they really wanted to get a copy. And he's like, any copy and VHS. And I'm like, I don't think I even have a copy of my own vampire film.
But your uncle had it. So we now do have a copy.
That's right,
because we got it from his uncle's house. So
right.
Okay. Yay.
That's great. So you guys already killed my two of these questions. One of them was, did you adapt your stories for the screen, or did you just write for movies? But it sounds like you just wrote them.
We just wrote them. Yeah. I'm sorry. I tend to get, when I get going, I just won't.
Well, we covered the topic.
Just be you.
Yeah, you got to be you. We covered the topic. That was exactly what we were looking for.
Well, I have a question. So since, and I hear the buzz is that Hollywood's dead and it's moving to Louisiana and Georgia and like Nashville. Do you think that's going to impact anything that you're doing? Will you get more back involved in film, or try and help it grow?
I don't think, since we've gone hardcore DIY, and we were when we were doing the indie film scene anyways, but I think the only thing that we would get back into, and I'm not saying if someone offered us here's a bucket of cash for the rights to Zombie Chaos, we'd be like, how much cash actually fits in that bucket? Right. Okay, take it. But
is it quarters?
we might want, or pennies. Yeah. We might want to do something ourselves.
Right. Yeah, we haven't killed that bug in us. And that's another thing about Kickstarter. Not that our little videos are so amazing, but you also are encouraged to do a video on your page. And so that's been fun the past couple campaigns doing that. It kind of gets us, and I think it's for both of us made us go, we kind of miss making movies.
Yeah.
Even though these are like 3 minutes long,
Right.
you know, it's just that idea of, I don't know, it's just a very different medium and bringing together so many things we love, the visual, the words, the music. So yeah, I don't know, maybe, I mean, Louisiana and Georgia have been pretty big for a while now.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think in our time in New Orleans, the thing that probably frustrated me the most about the film industry, because we ran the Big Easy International Film Festival there for quite a few years, was the lack of support for indie film.
Yeah, there in the
Hollywood
city,
South was all about,
right.
you know, Sony coming in and
Right.
you know, all these people building these studios there. So you see Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie at the time move into town,
Right.
and so you have that scene, but there was a lack of support for indie films. I think that is changing a little bit now.
Yeah.
I think because of a lot of streaming. And let's face it, you know, from YouTube to being able to sell to Freevee or Tubi or whatever.
This is funny though. I have a tiny little, I don't know if you guys want this. It's a little anecdote, but about filming in Louisiana. We lived in the French Quarter for a really long time. And we lived on St. Anne, which is in like the heart of the quarter. And the show NCIS New Orleans was filmed there a lot. And I have a really good friend from Northwestern who at the time was an executive producer of the show. And so she got us on the set at one point so we could meet Scott Bakula, who's like one of my favorite actors in the world, and just kind of watch a little bit of it. And so here I am meeting him, and I don't usually get kind of, you know, starstruck, but I was a little excited. Just say,
it was
and
funny.
I was a little up in the game. I wasn't really paying attention to stuff. And so he asked like, how do you like live here? Like in the quarter? I mean, it's like so crazy. I'm like, I know with all the filmmaking, it's like, Jesus Christ, there's so many TV shows and films are always away. And he goes, that's not what I meant. I meant like the tourists. I was like, oh, right. Yeah. No, the TV shows are great. Yeah. I'm so glad you guys are here. Dan, why don't you feel this?
Take your
I was
production
like,
and go.
for Christ's sake. I was being a little too honest. I didn't know what he meant.
Oh my God,
but
it was
yes,
funny.
It's a little crazy when you live in a neighborhood like that has become, you know, where they take over certain areas. And then you who are a resident can't go there or can't park there or whatever. And that's,
if you've seen
mixed feelings.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, so they took Lafitte's blacksmith shop bar, which is a famous one. It could be one of the oldest or the oldest continuously running bar.
It is.
But they took it, and one day Laura and I are out walking in the quarter, and there's dirt.
Well, because
on the road,
on the opposite corner is our mailbox place.
Right.
It's where our mailbox is. So we would go there every day to check our mail. And so one day we go there and there's like dirt everywhere. I mean, like the street is gone. And there's obviously some filmmaker people.
There's carriages and horses.
Yeah.
We're like, what the hell's
right.
going on?
And so they had turned. There's a scene in it. I can't remember which part. It doesn't take place in New Orleans. It's like in Springfield, Illinois, or wherever they are. And they're using, though, because it does look very
Lafitte's,
old, Lafitte's as that town. And it was just weird. It's just weird, you know, seeing it suddenly how it might have looked actually back in the 1800s, you know, when there was no pavement and no automobiles. So it's interesting. And when you live in a place like that, that's very historic, you know, they try to turn it into, you know, the past a lot. So,
but coming back to Hadley, your original question, I hope the filmmaking in the South becomes more indie friendly.
Definitely.
And I hope we start seeing a lot more small productions and all of that kind of stuff. That would really excite me.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else, Hadley?
I think that's going to be incredible. I was watching the Mayfair Witches show on AMC today, and I'm like really wanting to go to New Orleans.
It's pretty awesome. Well, if you're ever there, you let us know because we will happily like show you around if you need some guidance. We love
actually doing one of my good friends lives down there. She works for American Airlines.
Oh.
And I think I was telling y'all about she's one of the crew member of Chewbacca's.
Right. Yes.
Oh, we're going to
and that's
Chewbacca's.
we're going to Chewbacca's, and well, in like a week we're driving down to New Orleans, and then it's then the weekend after, a couple Saturdays from now. Crew of Chewbacca's is our absolute favorite Mardi Gras parade. It is awesome, and for anybody who's into sci-fi fantasy, it is a highly recommended parade. It doesn't
actually. I was a member. I don't think I currently have my member with them, but before COVID, I actually was joining and planning on going, and that was like the year. But yeah, totally. I'm just in Jackson, so I'm not that far away.
Right.
That's true.
Totally. When y'all get down there, we'll have to hook up sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll be there, so we'll like check in just to
come
see
down to
if maybe
Chewbacca's.
You should totally come down to Chewbacca's. That would be fun.
It would.
It's cool.
So I have to ask, Azazel, what's up with the zombie slaying kitty? Where did that come from, and how does that work for you?
Joe, the Dan character in our Zombie Chaos series, makes it very clear from the get-go that he likes animals far more than he likes humans. So he's much more willing to like risk his own life to save animals amid the zombie apocalypse than he would be to. Well, he says that, but he does help a bunch of humans along the way too.
Reluctantly.
Yes, reluctantly he does. But I think it started with our kitty. So our kitty, Ruby Azazel, has this. She's pretty feisty, and she only likes us. Like she doesn't let anyone else touch her or come near her. She's bitten my mom. She's attempted to bite many people. That's just how she is. So she's a little fighter. And I guess when we were doing the Zombie Chaos, since it's basically our autobiography with zombies, Azazel, of course, is in it. And somewhere along the way in book 4, she is left, her parents get taken away from her by a misguided ranger who doesn't know what's going on, in the zombie world. And she ends up getting lost in the woods. She gets out of the van, the zombie-proof van, and has an adventure. And after that, readers really liked that. They really loved her viewpoint because she's as snarky as her dad, but without all the 4-letter words. So she tiptoes around things a little more, but she's funny, but she's very ballsy little cat. And saves the day, ends up saving a little girl and everything. So that's how this Kickstarter then happened, is that we thought, okay, this is obvious. She's obviously a fan favorite, as we'd hoped she'd be.
I mean, that was from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So
now we wanted to write more stories from her point of view and then illustrate them so you can see her cute little self. We
were essentially getting threatened by our readers that if we killed the cat, that was it. I'm like, are you kidding? There's no way this cat will outlive everyone if that's the case.
Yeah, the funny thing is that the female in it, Claire, which is basically they're our middle names. So Dan is Daniel Joseph and I'm Laura Claire. So the leads are Joe and Claire. And he's much more willing to kill Claire off than he is the cat. So I'm okay with that. I mean, that's fine.
We'll see.
That's great.
Coming up with ways for a cat, for a small 13-pound cat to kill a zombie or even multiple zombies at once, that was a challenge. So
I believe it.
Resourceful.
Yeah.
Wow. So is it true that you guys not only write on the road, but you've turned an RV into the ship Serenity from the TV show Firefly? Because I'm still geeking out about hearing about that because, nerd. So
right.
Do tell.
Absolutely true.
We bought a 1988. Well, we're brown coats.
Yes, absolutely brown coats. Yes. That's the other one. Sorry.
Yes,
so that's
You're my people.
Yeah, we need to drink beers.
But we bought a 1988 21-foot fifth wheel, so a very small fifth wheel. And fifth wheels go over in the truck bed, and when you look at them, it kind of looks like Serenity.
Right,
it
the
kind of looks like
looks like Serenity. So we thought, I know what we.
This thing was a junker when we got it, and so we
gutted
it. We installed cabinets, built a new bathroom, redid everything, and then we painted like the kitchen is painted like the kitchen.
Yeah, where it's like yellow with the gray, and you can see it in the background of scenes. And our bedroom area is Inara's, so it's got the Inara sort of Moroccan, sexy bedroom thing,
which is just the bed over.
Yeah, right. Bedroom, it's a bed, but whatever, it works. And then we even have Hands of Blue, which are the bad guys, the Alliance. super duper.
Yeah, they left their
one of the cabinets. We each put a blue painted hand, my hand and his hand. And then even Ruby has her own little corner. And I was very proud of this because I am not a painter at all. I'm a writer. That's what I do. But I painted a little sign that says Ruby on it. I think Ruby's room instead of Kaylee's room. And so it's exactly like Kaylee's little hand painted sign, except it says Ruby. I'm super proud of that.
Points to her litter box.
And it points to her litter box. So yeah, like we really went a little crazy. And then the outside we painted gray. So it sort of looks like, as good as a 88 RV can look like a spaceship. I think we did a pretty good job.
This ship, and I'll call her a ship, has actually helped us out a few times. Oh, yeah. First, we were down
because we have a Serenity sign on the back. Yeah, so it says what she is.
Hold on, where's the Camping World?
Alabama, down in like Mobile, Alabama. There's a Camping World there, and usually you're not allowed to stay at Camping Worlds unless you have bought an RV from Camping World. But we came there one night, and the manager saw the sign and was like,
"He's a brown coat.
You guys you're my people. You can
hook up whenever you want."
Which means we have a free place in Alabama to hook up water and electricity, just so that in case we need a place in between, stops, which is awesome.
We were on I-75, and we were having some tire trouble.
Yeah,
and we pulled off at a rest area, and I swear, I think I just gotten out of the truck, and a trucker came over and said, "Can I take pictures?" And we were like, "Hold it, he goes, "Yes." And we even opened up the door so he could take it. He was going to send him to his wife and all this. And then he saw the tire trouble. And the next thing I know, this guy's jacked up our trailer and has fixed everything.
It was awesome. Like, I got to tell you, man, there is a serious brown coat nation out there. And it is, I know. There's some solidarity. It's pretty awesome.
And that actually helped inspire all of our sci-fi.
Oh yeah, we also do space opera series.
We have a Galactic Blues series, which is very Firefly-esque.
Actually, that was one of the best reviews we ever got from Galactic Blues, which we wrote with a friend, Brona, who chooses to remain anonymous. So I won't say her last name. I love you, Brona. She co-wrote it with us, and a reviewer said that lots of space operas say they're like Firefly, but this one really is. And I was just like, that is the best review ever.
Yes.
Wow. So I guess one of the things that we want you guys to do is to plug yourselves. What do you got coming out? What do you have in the past? We know about the zombie chaos, and we know about the tarot cards. What else you got?
Okay, well, Galactic Blues, like we said, is our space opera series that we'll continue. We also have a lit RPG that we started called Non-Player Character, and we're going to actually finish that on Kickstarter as well. So that'll be an upcoming campaign.
We go against the grain when it comes. Most authors would be like, "You should stick to one genre."
We don't do that so well.
We're not smart like that. We kind of write in everything.
That's okay.
So we have more Galactic Blues coming. We've got Non-Player Character, the fantasy lit RPG. We've got 2 more books in the Zombie Chaos series coming out in 2023.
And then we have a paranormal cozy mystery series that's of course going to be set in New Orleans because why not? And that'll be coming out this year too. So yeah, we're pretty busy.
and then a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah, it's how we roll.
Yeah,
but I love it.
Great,
I love it.
Lots of fan base. That's
That is the hope.
Yes.
Sometimes they say, it doesn't cross over, but it can for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've had people read Galactic Blues and then turn around and read Zombie Chaos.
Yep.
And we've had to go the other way.
Yep.
You wouldn't think, but there are enough of us out there that like it all.
Oh, I think there's more than you probably even tapped into. So, for me, I love the paranormal. So tell me about your paranormal series.
The paranormal cozy. Okay.
No, you go ahead.
Man. Well, tarot is involved in this one too. This is how this happened. Like we decided that from now on, like every Kickstarter will probably have a tarot deck associated.
That's awesome.
Because I love tarot, but also I don't know. I feel like, we can bring together sort of our abilities. He's very good visually. And I love the idea of like reinterpreting the cards, from a different perspective or a different genre or whatever. And I think we'll have a lot of fun with that. Yeah. But the paranormal cozy is basically about a half witch who, has lost her mother. So of course there's going to be a mystery at some point in the series about what really happened to her mom, her witch mom. And so she has an adopted mom who is a voodoo practitioner. So she gets, and she has a half, well, not a half sister, but I guess a sister, like really her sister, but I mean, a stepsister who is not really as into the mystical stuff. So she ends up helping to solve crimes because her one big, she's not really the best witch in the world, but the one skill she really has is she can talk to cats.
Of course.
And so her cat network in New Orleans helps her to solve crimes because they, of course, are the eyes and the ears of the quarter, which is where it takes place.
That is outstanding.
That helps her.
That was really cool.
I mean, the thing about all of our series, they all actually take place in the same universe
or multiverse.
Yes. Right. So there are connections between Zombie Chaos and the Cozy and
part of our goal ultimately, it's not that we think that one audience, for all.
Right.
It's more just that there are going to be some people, like you said, Hadley, that crossover. So it would be fun for those really diehard fans to be able to see the inside jokes and the little nuggets and Easter eggs in other series. And so they're all kind of linked. And that makes it more fun for us too.
Yeah, I mean, even the space operas are linked.
It's true.
So Hadley told me that you guys got trapped in Michigan during COVID. What happened there?
Well, we were actually in New Orleans. We had spent we had spent Mardi Gras there because my brothers had come down. I've got one brother in Michigan and one brother in St. Louis, and they came down to go to Chibacas, which
we had become like a yearly tradition, with them and their girlfriends.
And then COVID hit, and we're sitting in Serenity, the RV. I think it was like
in a campground down
there. The first week of March when everything started going crazy.
And then, the fear mongering on television and everything, from that, we thought that states were going to be shut down. I mean, the way they were talking, it was like, if you didn't get out and go home or whatever, you might not get there. And we were like, well, we can't afford. I love New Orleans to death, and so does he, but I have a very bizarre sensitivity to heat. I mean, like, not this isn't me just like being a delicate flower. Like, there's something on a physiological level that I can't handle heat at a certain current. I get very, very ill. And so we can't live there in the summer. As much as I would love to be there, I can't. I just can't do it.
We were doing 8 months on, 4 months up here.
It was March by that point. And it was like, well, if we don't get out now, I can't be here. Like, if we're here, I'm inside all the time for, the next 6 months. So we left thinking, okay, it's just going to be temporary, right? That's what they said. They were flattening the curve. It was going to be a couple of months, maybe, no biggie. So we went up to Michigan, and then, oops, one thing led to another, and we ended up, we've been here for the past few years.
We did. We've had a couple of trips down to New Orleans. Like Laura wanted to go to the Supernatural convention last year because she's a huge fangirl. Got her picture taken with the boys.
Sorry.
But we did have one advantage when we were coming up at the beginning of it. The whole toilet paper craze went down, and I remember all of our zombie groups on Facebook were like, "Hey, how do we get toilet paper? How do we get toilet paper?" Laura and I were in a Walmart, and we went to the RV section
because they always have toilet paper there.
They have RV toilet paper. And they were completely out everywhere else. So Laura and I stocked up on it, and we're pushing our cart through Walmart.
And people were giving us
evil
glares. Like, where did you
Honestly,
get that?
I wish I'd been packing there. Because
I know, man. It was awesome. You're like, see, if you're an RVer, the toilet paper isn't only in one place.
It's kind of crappy toilet paper.
It is crappy, but whatever. It does the job.
It works, right?
Yep.
Wow. I mean, you guys are great. Where can we find you? We want to look for you. Where can the fans and the people that are watching the show, where can they find you guys?
Where can they find us?
Well, I mean, they can go to dlmartone.com.
Yep.
You can look for our Kickstarter. I don't know if we can give you guys a link.
Yeah, we can give you the link for it, but it's Azazel the Zombie Slayer. There's not too many of those on Kickstarter right now. I think that's probably the only one. So yeah, Azazel the Zombie Slayer. You can.
And the cool thing about Kickstarter is once you start following, like if they follow us on Kickstarter, then they'll be notified of any other crazy stuff that we put out there.
And then we're on Amazon too. At least some of our books are on Amazon now. Yeah.
Well, no, everything's on Amazon. Just
not in KU.
We've dropped out of KU most specifically for the Kickstarter stuff.
Right, because you can't really be on Kickstarter and in KU at the same time.
Right.
Amazon doesn't like that.
Well, the books that you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But we will have more books in KU.
Right. Oh,
But
yeah.
how many books do you have?
I think we have 10 now.
Yeah, and I
If
mean,
you don't count Azazel in that.
No. Yeah, I think it's 10 because we have 3. Our very first one we put out in May of 2017. So besides the fact that I have a heat sensitivity, I also have OCD, and my OCD kind of only emerges when I'm writing, like that, like my job. That's when, otherwise I'm fine. I'm not a germaphobe. I don't care about any of that. Like, I don't have weird routines or well, I shouldn't say weird. I'm very sensitive to people with OCD, but I'm just saying, that's not how it manifests in me. It manifests more in my meticulous nature when it comes to work and lists and stuff like that. And so I was taking forever with our very first space opera. And in 2017, Dan was just like, we're hitting publish. So that was it. And our first little space opera, it was Gray Nebula, and it did really well.
It did really well.
But we need to get back to finishing the series because then,
that's not part of the Galactic Blues.
No.
That was a different.
So there was that space opera, and then the 3, and then Lit RPG, and then Zombie Chaos. Yeah, so 10 books at the moment.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's well done.
Yeah.
Thanks. And are you a featured author anywhere, or are y'all just doing the indie thing?
Just doing the indie thing.
Yeah.
It's how we roll.
Hi, Mike Lewis.
Well, Mike Lewis just popped on to say hello.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Well, that's awesome. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything you wanted to throw out there that we didn't ask?
No, I'm just trying to think. We're excited. I mean, we love Northern Michigan, just so we're clear. And it is beautiful up here. And it also,
not in the winter.
I love it in the winter. It's gorgeous. Although right now, because we had a weird, and I don't know if this is the case for you in Massachusetts, but like we had a weird snowfall that then made the lakes really dangerous because they didn't freeze properly. So we've been actually watching little fishermen go out there and kind of hoping that we don't suddenly not see them. So because I haven't ventured out there yet this season, I'm just like a little nervous when it comes to stuff like that. I'm from Louisiana. My water does not freeze. So I don't understand this concept of like walking on it. I swim in it. But anyway, so we love Michigan, but we adore New Orleans, and we are super excited to be going down there for Chewbacca. So what I was going to say before about Chewbacca is that if anyone out there is interested in experiencing Mardi Gras light, like not the weekend, which is insanity, Crew of Chewbacca's is awesome because it usually happens a few weeks before Mardi Gras weekend. And it's all about space opera and sci-fi, the Who, like you have all the little Whovians. I mean, it's amazing. There's a brown coat brass band, which they're all dressed like Mal and Kaylee and Jane, and they play. They're really good, actually.
It's the 28th. This Saturday.
So if anybody's down there and has never seen it, you must see it. It's really a treat.
January the 28th?
What'd you say?
It's January the 28th?
Yes, January the 28th.
Oh,
yeah.
so
Well, Mardi Gras is early this year.
Yeah, it's early. You know
is.
how it always fluctuates. It's very confusing. Yeah.
So yes, definitely. And it is like Laura said, it's a sci-fi and fantasy and horror. And it's not motorized. So you're not going to see the big, long, being pulled by a truck type of thing. I remember a few years back, somebody had a Borg cube.
It was awesome.
That was the size of the street. It was the width, and it was being pushed by 2 bicycles.
And it had 5 sides. Just the back was open because it was serving as like a resting
They put a porta potty in there.
So people would
they were
like
drinking
jump in
it.
the cube to chill out and then get back in the parade. Oh, it was awesome.
Well, Laura, tell me
Oh
about
God, my absolute favorite sub crew, because it's basically a parade that's filled with sub crews. And if you have at least like 2 people, you can start your own sub crew. In fact, the supernatural one, it's the Crooper Natural, are 2 people. Like that's, I think maybe hopefully they get a little bigger, but the first year it was like 2 little people with a sign that had baby on it. And that was pretty much, that was it. But my favorite are the Rolling Elliots, and they're all grown men that are dressed like Elliot from E.T. with the red hoodies on, riding bicycles with little ETs in the baskets.
Drunk
and
off their asses.
They're so drunk most of the time, especially by the end, that they're like rolling into the crowd. I mean, not in any like dangerous way. They are on bicycles, but it's pretty funny, actually. It's just a hoot. It's really a hoot. I feel like it has that vibe of New Orleans, the creativity and the community. without all the insanity.
And then all the genre stuff that we love.
Yeah, it's a lot of art creators, isn't it? A lot of creative types.
Oh yeah, even the throws are super creative.
Most of
so
them are
like in
handmade.
other words, instead of getting, Mardi Gras beads made in China, like most of all the other parades throw and doubloons and such, they actually give you like handmade things. So like my absolute favorite thing ever is a coloring book from Supernatural that the little crew made. So it's like a little coloring book with images from the show. I'm sure it's not licensed. I don't care. It's awesome. So cool. Yeah. So it's very creative, very clever. Yeah. I agree. The only other thing I would say is that if anyone out there is interested in New Orleans, one of the cool things about Kickstarter is that, and our Kickstarter does end on January 26th, is that there are also add-ons that are all from our previous campaign. So like our Ghost Tour and our Vampire Tour. And we created a NOLA glossary and pronunciation guide that I'm really proud of. That has how to say stuff and pictures and things. So
the glossary guide,
if anybody's interested,
started off. It was supposed to be a few pages long.
Yes.
It was it was a giveaway. Just give it away.
I blame my OCD.
How long was it when we published it?
It was like 100 pages. I'm sorry. There's to talk about. It's a crazy place. What?
Still, that's pretty cool.
Yes.
The glossary.
Well, I love that. I got a little Texas healer last year, and I posted about him. And Daniel, you had responded back because his name is Boudreaux, and you said the only thing I needed was a cat named Thibodeau.
Thibodeau,
exactly. You do.
Thibodeau.
Absolutely. But I was like, I try and tell him because like Scott Baker will call him Bordeaux, and I'm like, no.
No, and he's not French. It's a Cajun French, not French. Yeah, Bordeaux. That's awesome. Yeah, I love seeing your doggy, your adventures with dogs. And isn't your dog right now had like got approached for
what's going on?
Promo? I call him Boo Bradley because he needed 2 names because he's so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, but he keeps getting approached because he's photogenic, and that's what people want him.
Oh my God, the eyes!
What's so
His
funny?
Eyes are incredible.
So what you're saying is that he's really photogenic, but he might not do so well on a photo shoot. I
can't even put a leash or collar on this dog. I couldn't get him a little outfit. He'd have nothing to do with it. But I've got him a friend now because he needed a companion, and now I have Wilson.
Oh, Wilson, that's great! I love it. It's awesome. We only have the kitty, but she will not tolerate any other creature in the house other than the 2 of us. So we have to live vicariously through you for cute puppies. That's not happening anytime soon.
Have y'all ever been to the Rougarou Festival in Houma?
No.
That sounds awesome.
That does sound awesome. Rougarou was defined in my glossary, but no, I did not go to that.
I didn't know there was such a thing. I kind of want to go to that too.
They have a parade, and it's like the weekend before Halloween, and they do a zombie parade.
Oh my God, we're there. Okay, Dan has already made the determination that no matter what, I mean like hell or high water or hurricanes or whatever, we are going to be in Louisiana next winter. So we will take Serenity down, and we are staying our butts down there.
Also.
So and because Halloween in New Orleans is one of our absolute favorite times ever to be in New Orleans.
It's batshit crazy there.
It is really crazy, but that would be so much fun. So we'll look into that. Thank you for letting us know.
I think I saw that.
I had not heard
a few years ago because I think, I think it was when Tab Benoit got his.
From Houma.
Yeah, it started his initial restaurant, and I think they did something there.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll look into it. So thank you. Sharing that.
Well, if y'all go, let me know because they have free tables. So
absolutely.
If you want to set up a book table, we'll set one up too.
Oh yeah, we'll totally do that. Yeah,
we'll do a Weird Realities podcast from there.
Right. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, we definitely want to start doing more of that. And that's, I think, another kind of offshoot of Kickstarter is creating things for Kickstarter will help us then have interesting things for conventions and stuff.
Yeah,
we definitely want to do more
because we have Serenity to travel around in,
exactly.
And so we want to be able to go Comic-Con to all around the country.
So that's the plan.
Have y'all been to Comic-Con or Dragon Con or any of the cons?
Diego, he has. Yeah. No, I have not had the pleasure.
It was that was insane. It's just too crowded.
Did you go as a guest or did you have?
No. I had friends that were had tables there when I went, but and it's also very. it's very Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
The San Diego one is. We've been to the Comic-Con in New Orleans a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, I love that one.
And that's just friendly, fun.
Yeah.
And they still get enough names in.
I love Comic-Cons though. They are definitely like our people, because I would say the one thing I love in this crazy world where there's a lot of divisiveness and everything, Comic-Cons are one of the happiest places, the happiest things to go to. Yep. Everybody is excited. You know, you're finding your tribe. You're all excited about a specific thing.
You're nerded out.
You're nerded out. Like it is just, it's like for anybody out there who has never been to a Comic-Con of any shape or size, you have to go, because you will find kindred spirits, and it just has a great energy and community about it. I just love it. I love Comic-Cons in general. So
that's on the 2023 agenda as well.
Yeah, we're busy.
Well, in 2024, Wyrd Realities is going to have a get together in Jackson, Mississippi, and I hope y'all will come.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
No, we totally will. Yeah. Can we get our friend Doug to come? I know he's not involved in all this, but
he can come.
Doug can come.
We're actually going to do it. And Alan's supposed to come, and Joe Hansen, and Rich, and Scott, and Bethany, and our other people that aren't writers are all supposed to come, and we're going to get together and meet. And so
we would love to
encourage
do that.
folks to come.
Well, if you'll have us, we would love to do that.
Oh, absolutely. That'd be a blast.
Yeah, that would be, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, but, you know, I don't know if Doug's parents still live here or not, but he probably comes up. It wouldn't be a big drive for him.
Yeah. No,
I don't know how he would. When the Doug that I knew was like Mr. Prim and Proper.
I mean,
Ooh.
I didn't really get that vibe from him. It was just more like when we first met him, he was just a lot quieter than we realized. And then once you get to know him, he's got a naughty sense of humor.
Yes.
Like he's
got a wicked sense of humor.
I love Doug so much. He's just great. I miss him a lot. And it was funny when we found out you knew him. I mean, like knew him like as kids. I was like, that is what a small world. Yeah.
It is. Isn't it? I always say that the right people always find a way to each other.
Yep.
I like that. Yeah, I think that's true. Well, this was a lot of fun, guys. I mean, I wish we had, I don't really can't think offhand of more. And I'm sorry Ruby is not with us, but yeah, she was not.
Her price was too high to be on camera.
It was like, no, not feeling it tonight. So
awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here. I wish I had more questions for you, but you guys, you killed it. You answered everything that I had, prepared, and Hadley threw some stuff out there, and you answered all that. That was great.
Well, we told you anything goes, so
I still got more questions, but I'm just waiting.
Okay. Well, we'll come back if you guys want us to come back. We'll happily show up again. So.
Well, I might want you, Laura, to come on. If I can get the Wyrd Awakenings crew to talk about tarot sometime.
I would love that.
She would love that.
I love it. I love tarot. It's awesome. I've only really, I don't have the length of, time under my belt that you do, but I've really loved it the past few years. And I have a couple good writer buddy friends who are also into it and use it more for creativity, reasons, and also life. But mostly to help through creative hurdles. And they're the ones that my friend Angie and Mariel, they both got me into it, and I really owe them because I love it. It's actually
the symbolism of the cards is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So I'm really interested to see how y'all are going to do yours.
Yeah.
So
okay. I will keep you posted for sure.
It's going to be fun.
It is very fun.
Well, awesome. And thank you again for sharing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say really quick. And this particular deck, Zombie Cats of New Orleans, the guidebook that comes with it is written from Azazel's point of view. So the cat is the one that's actually interpreting the cards. So yeah, we let her go. Like all of the suits are different. The wands are bones. The cups are bowls. The pentacles are treats. I can't remember now the other one. Swords are claws.
Yeah.
So she definitely has her own take on everything. So it's going to be a little irreverent, but that's kind of.
And there's zombie cats and zombie hunting cats.
Yes, right.
So
as the archetypes. Yeah. So anyway.
Oh, that's fantastic. I got to get me one of those.
We'll be fighting over it. All right, guys. Well, again, thank you. Come back anytime, and the next time you have something that y'all are promoting, another Kickstarter, or when it comes close to Halloween and you're doing your ghost tours or vampire tours, let us know because we might be able to get some folks together to head down there.
Okay, awesome. That would be great. Like I said, that is one of our favorite things in the world besides cats and zombies is taking people around New Orleans.
Yep.
Like we just love it. So yeah. Cool. Well, it was lovely chatting with you guys. Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks for being here. You guys are everything I wanted to see. So that was great.
Well, good.
Thanks so much for coming.
Sure.
It was fun.
Anytime.
Yep.
Well, bye, Hadley. Bye, Rich.
I guess that's it. Take it easy, everybody.
Well, until next time, y'all just stay weird and we'll stay in touch.
We will.